Welcome, warriors, back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. How are everybody doing today? Hope you guys are on your plan and your purpose. Hope things are going well. Beautiful time we have in the year weather-wise. I think it's gorgeous. It's not too warm, not too hot. I like a little cooler weather myself. So it's kind of nice that we have this going on. I enjoy it. We're getting to my favorite time of the year, Christmas. And this is wonderful. So no matter what's happening in the world, you can control yourself. And that's really important. So thank you for all the subscriptions, comments, likes. We had some great comments. And Babba, I'm going to get to a lot of your comments in different ways, probably doing them through videos as well. And but I appreciate all the great comments he made. And he made one good comment that I find really a very interesting comment that I don't think I've talked a lot about. So we're going to do that in this video here. So the name of the video is going to be called "You May Become a Wolf." Babba's question was, why did I call myself the Wolfman? And I kind of was just doing it because I was growing a lot of hair before I got it trimmed a little bit the other day. And so I kind of did that. But more thinking about this, Babba makes a very interesting point. He may have been doing it on purpose. And so I shout out to you, my friend, for that. But there is some effects of retention as I'm doing this. Now I'm at 545 days. I checked it. And I think 70 days of hard monk mode. So we're getting to the point where at hard monk mode, I don't have any thoughts at this point. Now, if something comes in front of me that I'm seeing or something that's just unintentional, I may react to it, but I don't have that sort of feeling to look for that stuff at this moment because I don't think about it. I'm focusing on my goal. I'm focusing on looking at my goals. I'm focusing on trying to do those things. And so I don't see anything else around me at this point. And I think that's what ends up happening. But I think, my friends, my warrior friends, this is really the whole idea behind what life should be. You should be a person who is focusing on goals. You should have that in your mind. You should not be wasting your energy on goals that have nothing to do with making you succeed and making this world a better place. So when you look at this, when I look at things like, releasing and watching pornographic images, watching these type of things that we see all the time, all this stuff is really self-destructive. And it's because you're getting yourself out of the natural rhythm of who you should be. Now, who should you be? Well, that's a good question. And so as Babba was talking about, do we actually become wolves as time goes on? And my answer to that is, maybe. maybe. Obviously as I was growing up, I felt like, I was very clean cut. And, I felt that, okay, so we should have people who are clean cut. We shouldn't have any beards. We shouldn't have any kind of longer hair, things like that. But as you're seeing a lot of stories in the past, biblical stories, different things, that history, you see a lot of people with a lot of hair on their face, especially men. I'm talking about men now. And, when you see that, you kind of wonder yourself, okay, what are we really supposed to be? Now, we talk about all these stories about the Beauty and the Beast and how the woman is kind of subdues the beast in a man. So if you look at that logic, to me, that means there's beasts in all of us. Now I'm just talking about males right now. So if we're talking about the beasts in males, then I would say, Babba, your question is a very good question, and I would say your answer would be yes. I think if left alone, if you didn't have any kind of the female persuasion or people around you to kind of say, okay, you shouldn't be this way or that way, then we would essentially become beasts. Now, the next question becomes, is that good or bad? Now, when it comes to the history of mankind, you'll see these type of people all over. You could talk about the fact that Alexander the Great was a beast. You could talk about a lot of the Romans. They were beasts, right? Now, they didn't have hair over their bodies, but they're still beasts. So when you look at things and how the aggression is with people, and you look at our professional stuff now, either professional football or war, I mean, we could call people's aggression a wolf-like behavior, animal-like behavior. So the question then becomes, is that good or bad? And I would say that I believe that we are heading to the point where society's trying to make it bad, and we cannot allow that. So I guess, Babba, you really kind of have you've hit on something here, which I think is an excellent point. So shout out to you again on this. I think that when you look at the time, or maybe a balance here, you're looking at people who, as we developed from the apes and people, we were very much beast-like in our behavior. We went to get food, we protected our property, our family, those type of things. And we needed to have that aggression, a level of aggression that you have if you're playing like football or going to war and coming back. You have that anger. You need to have that for protection. Protecting you, protecting your family, your property, things like that. Well, you get to the point where in a society, if you become soft, which is what we talked about before, you become soft, you lose that aggression. And so losing that aggression means that you can no longer protect yourself, protect other people. And yes, women could do the same thing, but women just are not as physically strong as males in most cases. And so because of that, the males have to have that aggression. Now, it should be controlled aggression, but how controlled should it be? So these are very good questions coming from what Babba was saying to me. I think that when you look at this, being retention, having a foundation of keeping yourself within yourself, you are not only getting the aggression because you have that focus, you have that energy inside of you, but you're also learning how to control that aggression. So you're not just going ahead and punching somebody on the street, right? You're not just losing your energy controlling it. So it is a very good point. And so I think when you look at that scale again, we're not these wild animals running around. But then we can't get to the point where we have no aggression. We need to have that balance in between. And I think this is why when you look at a lot of the, I used to know people that did Taekwondo and a lot of the martial arts types of things. And I listened to Bruce Lee a few times and other people talking about this. They talk about that self-control aggression. And I think this kind of gets right to Babba's point here. When you're looking at aggression, it should be something that is a control type of thing. And I guess if you look at even these fictional characters like James Bond and people on the movies and things like that, a lot of them are more effective if they have that controlled aggression. Right? I remember that old movie Officer and Gentleman, and that one person who played it, I can't remember his name now, but he was very controlled in his aggression. Now, he had a lot of aggression, and that got him, in trouble at times, but he learned how to control it throughout the movie. And I think this is the key to when you look at these type of things and you're looking to see, okay, how can I maintain who I am? Because we need to keep that beast within ourselves. But at the same time, we cannot lose that energy we have or waste that energy that we have as well. So it's really a controlled aggression. And so this is why I think this is a very interesting point you bring up. Because if you're releasing and you're doing, fapping and all this other kind of stuff, you are losing your bestiality, which I think is important. You need to be a beast. So the question then becomes, right, if you're maintaining this, you're keeping that beast quality, the masculine frame, those things within you, but it's being controlled. And this, I think, is the key. So again, a great point. from Babba on these questions, and he's got a few other ones that I think I'll go back over and look at, and I'll get back to you on some of those, but I'll probably also do videos again talking about it. But the idea, guys, is that you may become a wolf, and you may even start looking like a wolf like I did, with all my kind of hair and things like that starting to get into it. But once again, realize that you're on a great journey. And the journey is important because you want to keep that energy that you have within yourself. And you will be a beast. You will be a beast. And I know that I was talking about the women, and it's amazing to me now that I don't really care. In many ways, I don't care. That it's amazing the attraction level that they have and just the way they say something. Like yesterday, I had people that I was just saying hello to, and it was just, hello. It's like, that was kind of weird reaction right back. But I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about they must be picking up on something that I just don't see. And at 60 years old, to have this kind of reaction is very interesting to me. Now, like I said, I am so much focused now on my goals that I don't really have an interest in. I mean, I have a great wife and I have great kids, and I don't need to focus on any of that. But the thing is, to my mind, I think it's more than that. I think it's just more of getting all those ideas out of my head and focusing on the idea that you can really become a very successful person if you stay focused on the things that really need to be focused on. Don't waste energy on chasing girls. If you're a girl, don't chasing guys around. Focus on the goals you have, and everything else will fall into place. And you'll keep your energy, and you'll continue to have those beast-like qualities. Now, as you become better with this, as you get to the point where you're focusing on using energy in the right way, you'll be more controlled. But you'll never lose that. And as other people see you, they get attracted. Now, other men, they tend to have a lot more respect in their communication with me as well, which is amazing to me. And it just seems like there's something, it's very interesting. I just think it's kind of strange, because all these years, I didn't have those type of reactions. And so something has changed a great deal. And then I go back to the fact that it's the last time I remember being in this mode that I can actually even recall was when I was 11 to 12 years old. That's the only last time I could feel like that I was, I guess, normal, before I got inundated with all the stuff that we all have in society, and that we need to change who we are and think about, one of our goals is just, chasing men and women around, right? And that's not the way life should be. But, good job to those manipulators out there buying products and manipulating us in a certain way where you become less of a person you are. So, I think you have to think about this in the way that you think about it. When people are celibate, they're not all dying of internal type problems because they didn't release, right? Like the doctors tell you. I didn't die in my first 12 years because I didn't release. So when you think about this kind of stuff, you realize that a lot of this is very misleading types of things. But I'm just astonished in the responses I'm getting. So they sense something in you as an energy, and whether they know it or not, it's subconscious. It's just amazing to me how the reaction is. So that's what I'm saying, guys, that you are going to get tremendous benefits. And I think, Babba, one of your questions was, do they continue? Well, I'm at 545 days, and I'm at 70 days in monk mode. And in my mind, they continue, and they get more astonishing as time goes on. But a lot of this goes back to the fact that my focus has changed. Honestly, when I first started doing this, monk mode wasn't even something I could do. I'm in 545 days, and I'm only 7 days in monk mode. So really, when you think about this, there's a lot of time there that I kept thinking about, other types of things, pictures and all these other types of things. And so it was something that in my mind, even though I wasn't watching it, it was still there. I think it's taken this amount of time to even get a blockage of all that, to the point where I don't think about it and I focus on other things. And now that I'm focusing all my energies on these goals and my pictures of my goals, it's a little different situation. And I think that's the kind of way human beings should be. And I think that's what we should be focusing on. All right. Again, a longer video, but once again, Babba, thank you so much for your comments, and hopefully I'll get to answer all your questions. And I apologize if I don't get to all your comments, guys. I'm getting a lot of comments and feedback. It's greatly appreciated. I'll try to get as much as I can. All right, until next time, battle on!